Alright, so hey guys, and welcome to the final video in my Argan series where we're gonna compare all the Argans side by side against the Prophet Taker so that you can see how they perform in comparison to one another rather than just how they perform on their own, which is what I did in the other videos. But before we start, I just quickly want to mention that number one, there are going to be timestamps in the video description as well as in a comment down below because the video is going to be fairly long and there are going to be long stretches where there's going to be no commentary in there. Number two, I'm not going to be using mods that you can only get by killing the Prophet Taker Orb or by doing the Balor Fomorian Sabotage or the Razorback Armada event. And that's why I'm using pretty much the same build for every Argan. It's very basic, it's relatively easy to farm, and there's only one mod that's going to change based on the Argan I'm using, and I'm going to explain why I chose that particular mod. And the third and final thing I want to mention is that 7 out of the 9 Argans are more than capable to take on the Prophet Taker with a 0 forma setup, just a potato and some decent mods. So with the exception of the Grattler and the Fluctus, you don't actually have to invest the extra forma to fit in all the mods. Oh yeah, and blimey, I almost forgot, you also want to make sure that you're using at least Radiation, if not Radiation and Cold, which is the best combo to be using against the Prophet Taker. And I think that's enough blabbering, so let us start off with the control round, which is going to be a 0 forma Imperator with a potato that just has some damage, multi-shot, elemental damage, and crit. And I think this one is gonna actually surprise quite a few people, because even a 0 forma Imperator is actually quite good versus the Prophet Taker. And at number 2, we have what is straight up the worst Argan to be used up against the Prophet Taker, unfortunately, and that is the Fluctus. And it's all to do with the projectile, because the projectile often bugs out or it clips the wrong part and it will do 0 damage to the legs. And the only reliable way to actually do damage to the Prophet Taker's leg is to shoot from the outside in. So you will have to run around the Prophet Taker a lot, which takes up a lot of time. And it also has some ammo issues because of that, because, you know, a lot of the shots don't do any damage. And as such, I decided to choose magazine extension so that I have more ammo just in case a lot of the shots do 0 damage. And at number 3, we have the Velocitus, which is a favorite for a lot of people, though I don't like it too much myself because I run with Inaros and this weapon really shines with Chroma, and I also don't like the stagger you get when you fully charge your shot. And the spare mod, or the final mod that I chose here, is Shell Rush for the faster charge rate. And at number 4 we have the Grattler, which is pretty decent. It's about as good as the standard Imperator, and here I chose magazine extension for once again the fear of running out of ammo. And at number 5 we have the duo Decurion, which is one of my personal favorites. It's not the best, but it's definitely up there, and for this one I chose automatic trigger for the extra DPS. Now you might think that's not fair, especially since I used magazine extension on the other ones, which doesn't add any damage whatsoever, but you know, when you run out of ammo you're gonna be doing 0 damage, and even though they buff the heavy ammo drops, sometimes there are just none there. Moving on to number 6, where we have the Corvas, and here I once again used magazine extension, but for a different reason to the Fluctus and the Grattler, because if you use magazine extension on the Corvas, you can actually take down all 4 of the legs and the spider in a single magazine, and that is just really good.
Suppressing fire.
And at number 7 we have what I believe is to be the best Argon to use against the Profit Taker, the Imperator Vandal, or at least if you're not using Chroma, because if you're using Chroma and you crit with the Velocitus, you will one-shot the legs, but this one is far more reliable. And the final mod I chose here is once again automatic trigger for the extra DPS. And we are slowly nearing the end with the Cyngas, where I once again chose automatic trigger for the ton of extra DPS that it provides. And the final Argon on the menu is the Phaedra, where I once again used the automatic trigger for the extra DPS. And that is all the Argons that we have right now, so I hope the video was useful, and if I were to rank them, based on like experience, fun and usability and performance, I would go number 1, Imperator Vandal, number 2, Dual Decurion, number 3, the Corvas, number 4, the Standard Imperator, number 5, the Phaedra, number 6, the Velocitus, number 7, the Cyngas, number 8, the Grattler, and finally number 9, the Fluctus. But bear in mind that I don't fight the boss with other people, so I'm soloing all the time, and I'm using Inaros, not Chroma. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and once again, I hope it was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.
Sons and daughters, by the heart of